Well, if you're looking now at tonight's performance by England, and if Capello is going to be saying to himself, "What am I got to do we'll forget midfield now. We've done that, and he has to change it if he has the courage to do what Mourinho would have done. Let's be honest about it. If he had to take a tough decision, no. His defence is in trouble, John, isn't it? I mean, King has gone off. Carragher is slow.
No Ferdinand.
No Ferdinand.
Terry is slow.
Terry is
slow. They got
slow.
really exposed against the better players.
Yeah, so they have a problem, haven't they?
Well, they didn't play well at all, Bill, tonight, as we know. And there were many reasons for it. Defensively, they weren't good, but I'm not so sure that would be... If I were Capello, I'd be less worried about the defence than sorting out the overall thing. Eamon's explained about the Route 1 thing. And what Eamon did there, he showed, I think, about 4 or 5 early. And for every 5 that was knocked up to Heskey, they only got possession once.
Once, yeah.
So you'd have to ask, well, what's the point in doing that anyway? That's where it becomes stupid. And that's why Eamon said, the Brazilian to Spanish, well, why do that? I think you obviously want your defence to be right, Bill, but I think there are more serious problems than who fits in there, because they have Dawson that can come in alongside Terry, and I think they'll be okay. You know?
Do you go along with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're wanting to talk about the midfield because we think that's the biggest problem.
I understand that, but we've discussed that.
We've talked about... I think if I'm Capello tonight, I'm not going to sleep very well. I'm going to think, do I have to change my goalkeeper?
Yeah. I'm
worried about the pace of Carragher getting caught out. Do I play Dawson instead of him? The 2 fullbacks didn't have a good game but didn't do anything wrong. The whole midfield needs to be rethought. Do I start with Crouch instead of Heskey? Or do I leave a big man out and put Rooney up there? He's got a lot of thinking to do.
And what about Lennon? What about Milner?
Yeah,
what about Wright Phillips?
I don't think any of them have said tonight, you have to pick me for the next game. I think he's going to start with a blank piece of paper tomorrow. I think you can pencil in John Terry, the 2 fullbacks, Wayne Rooney. Again, will he stick with Gerrard and Lampard? I think he will. But other than that, I think you might have to change his whole system, because that is not good enough to win your games in the World Cup. Never mind win the World Cup.
They did remarkably well in qualifying. I mean, they qualified very, very early.
Very comprehensively. 8 out of 9 wins.
Yeah, they won their matches. Who's in their group now? I've had a memory lapse.
Well, they had Croatia, Eamon. Who
beat Croatia twice.
Croatia beat them, last time out.
Croatia are gone, John. You know, they're not so good anymore. But the thing is that for a coach of his standing in the World game, to see his team play like that against a weak team is an embarrassment.
Yeah, okay.
He'll be embarrassed. And I suspect he'll end up with Rooney up front on his own and 5 men in midfield, and that's the way they'll play it. And Joe Cole will play.
Can I just say something? We've not mentioned it, and please believe me, because I experienced it in Mexico. Yeah. It's at altitude. That was 5,000 feet today, I believe, and that affects everybody differently. And that might be a big reason why England looks so laboured tonight.
Okay. All right.
Can I just say something? I can't agree with that.
Well, John, I've been there.
No, I'm not saying you don't feel well physically. I can understand people suffering physically.
I'm at 5,000 feet all the time.
but you can't.
All right, gentlemen.
Sorry,
but
I'll just say this.
Very quickly, John. You have about 10 seconds.
Right. You can suffer physically, but this was philosophical. Tonight, this is the letdown. Heskey up front. That's the way they started before they ever got near tired.
So are you three guys? Final, just yes or no? Are we writing off England?
Yes.
No, you can't do that this time.
All right. Let's see what happens. That's all we have time for. Don't forget, we still have.